a relationship that is needed.
Ken said trust is big. Trust is big.
Honesty.
Okay, trust,
Important.
honesty,
And faithful. Being
faithful, loyalty. What else did you say? Relationships.
Being able to talk. Being
Okay.
able to
Yeah.
talk.
Communicate.
Communication.
Yes.
I think what I said was being able to trust someone, like that you confide something very personal to you.
Right.
They're not gonna, they're not gonna go behind your back and talk about you behind your back and then backstab you. You know. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
So
yes?
Because then you can't communicate with that person.
Exactly.
Yes.
I can't trust
But
you.
then you can't
I know
trust
I
them.
can't
That's
trust
right.
you. Yeah, that's
So
not
how
fair.
about support
Support
and
Support.
respect? I think the respect comes number
Respect,
first.
support, yeah.
Because without respect for each other, there cannot be any relationships. Okay?
Yeah.
So, first is the respect towards each other. Because if you don't have a respect for the other person, no matter
Respect is
how
very
loyal
important.
he is or how much other qualities he has, you will not be able to form a relationship. So, for the relationship, first is the respect towards each other. And that means self-respect also, and also respect for the other person. Okay, so both ways it works. That you don't have to lay yourself down just so to make the other person happy. So, but self-respect is very important, and so is the respect for the other person. Then second number I feel is always trust. Trust is very important.
Equality is important.
Yes,
What?
Equality.
Equality.
yes. Trust is
No,
very
equality
important.
is not that- Equality is not.
No.
Equality.
Trust
Equality.
is-
No, not to me, no.
Okay, I
Well,
think
one
trust
is
is
gonna
more
be-
important because trust, if you cannot trust each other, then you will not be able to communicate, you won't be able to share anything. As you said, you will not be able to support each other. Support is another thing that is very important in
You
any
have to- I
relationship.
think also what's important is to be able to compromise. I mean, in a relationship, you have to, it's a give and take.
Yes.
You know,
So
we're
it is
all
always a
individual-
give and take.
we're
So
all
relationship does mean
individuals.
give and take. It's like a transactional. Relationships is always a transactional. There has to be a give and take. If it's only one-way street, it won't last too long. So
Financial sharing.
yes, so sharing and all, that's a give and take only. So if you have to, and anyway, any relationships that we form in this world are usually for the give and take, you know. Either there were karmic obligations that you needed to finish, that's why the person came into your life. And then, or the family members are obviously definitely karmic obligations that we have to finish off. So, what is the most important in any relationship is, besides these qualities, the most important thing that you need to do to finish off any or to cultivate and finish off your relationship is to fulfill your duties towards that relationship.
To me, it's
It's
flexible.
very important
Is it
Flexibility.
fulfilling duties?
duty towards that relationship. So
Fulfill
that
your duties?
fulfill your duty. So if you have a relationship, say with your sister, so what is your duty towards your sister? So you have to fulfill that. You should fulfill that duty as a sister. How would you support her? How would you take care of her? How would you help her in her journey? So that is the main thing. And similarly with your husband or with your any other relationship, and in all, especially with the parents, and siblings. These are the relationships that were formed before you were born. Okay, I mean, they were while as you were born, these relationships got formed. Okay, you did not pick those relationships. These relationships were picked by the universe, you could say, or by you when you were not in the body. So as a result, those relationships have to be you have to be really loyal to those relationships. Loyal in a sense that you have to fulfill your duties towards them. Now, whether you get along with them or not is a different story. That does not mean that you're always going to be compatible with them or with their thinking. But that does mean that you still have to fulfill your duties towards them. That means as a parent, whatever your duty as a child towards them, it's important that you fulfill them. Why is it important? From the spiritual point of view, it is important to fulfill your duties. Why? Because unless you fulfill those duties, and you not only fulfill them your duties, but also fulfill them with love. With love meaning, anytime you want to finish off a relationship, that means anytime you want that this soul should not come back into my life again in my life, that means you have to finish off that relationship with that soul. So that soul agenda of give and take has to be finished. The cycle has to be broken. So in order to break any cycle, what is the way to break any cycle? By love, by giving love. That's it. That's the only way. You fulfill your duty and you give them love, unconditional love. Accept them as they are, forgive them for their mistakes, and give them unconditional love. When you start doing that and fulfill your duty towards them, then you have a right to move on, move away from them, and also you don't have to have that soul back in your life again in your next journey. But in this journey, you have to fulfill your duty. And if you do not fulfill your duties towards any relationship, then that give and take cycle is all still open. Because the only way to complete the cycle is with love and finishing off your duties. If you move away from your duties, you say, I don't care, I don't like that my mother or my father or my sister, and I'm not going to take care of them, especially when they are in need. And I'm going to walk away because I don't like them and they don't like me. Whatever the relationship could be, it doesn't matter. Main thing is you were brought into that relation. That is a relationship that you did not get to choose while you are in this body. Which are the relationships that you get to choose? As your friends, as your companion, as your husband, wife. Those are the relationships that you get to choose. And you choose them, you let them go, you make new friends again. So a lot of people come and go. So there, the give and take is only for a short time. It's a very minimal. It's not for the too long. And whatever the lessons they need to teach you, or whatever you have to, maybe you are a trigger in their relationship, for them to learn. So whatever the learning has to be done will be done, and they will move on in their life, and you will move on in your life. But the relationships which are more important, that where your duty comes very, very, you have to be focused in your duty, is the relationships that are in your family.
So relationships take work. If you're saying, you have duties,
yes,
that implies that.
Yes. So work meaning like just like your parents took care of you when you were a child, and they didn't abandon you, and they did not. They took care of your needs. They took care of your feelings. Same way, in whatever way, the best that you can do, you should do it. The intention should be that I am always available, and I'm going to finish off my duty with love and with forgiveness and acceptance. Because what happens is, in every relationship, we want people to be the way we want them to be. You see, we want to see them that way. They should behave in a certain manner with me. They should come across, they should understand me the way I am. And also they should be forgiving, accepting me as they are, and giving me unconditional love. But when it comes to us, we don't want to do the same. We have our own conditions. So any relationship with the conditions will not last. Okay, and that relationships with the conditions not only doesn't last too long, but that also creates this cycle of give and take, which is not completed. It will leave that cycle open, karmic cycle. So that will again bring you back together, because as I said, the only way you can learn and you can move on from a relationship is by giving them unconditional love. No matter what they are doing, because whatever they are doing is their karma, right? So whatever you are doing is your karma. So if you want to finish up your relationship with them, and do not want to continue in your next life, or even in this life, you do not want any bitterness, you do not want any fights, any kind of because any kind of grudges, if you are holding any kind of ill feeling, if you are holding in your mind towards them, then what are you doing? You're binding yourself to them.
But Madhu,
yes,
I understand what you say, but there are times when you say, when a relationship is not fulfilled and you're not happy with something, we have an option.
Yes.
We don't have to stay. We can walk away.
Yes.
If we feel we're being mistreated, we can walk away.
Yes.
So if I have a brother or a sister or even a parent that I feel is not fulfilling an obligation or doesn't treat me the way I deserve to be treated, because it's why do I have to give that person unconditional, even though it's a relative? Why do I have to give that person unconditional love?
So where the family comes, what happens is with the family is where you have most of the karmic obligations pending from the last lives. Okay, those people, only those souls come together as a family where a lot of open transactions are there. So you have to learn to live, and that is why you came together as a family, that so that we can forgive each other, accept each other, and give unconditional love. That is the reason why you came into the contract before you entered this body, that I'm going to be in your family. We will have the lot of exchanges going on, and we will learn to give love and accept each other and forgive each other. So that is the contract you formed before you came. Now, if you want to walk away, if the other person is treating you unjustly, I'm not saying that you should stay there to get abused. I'm not saying that. But physically, what I mean is that when they cannot treat you well, right? But you can treat them back well. You don't have to be treating them in the same coin as they are doing it. You understand my point?
And also, why can't I just walk away?
Yes, you can walk away, but it's also you have a duty as a sister or as a daughter towards them. No matter what, you are their daughter. They did bring you into this world. You are a part of their family, and just like they were obligated to take care of you when you were not able to do it, when you were a child, you also have an obligation to take care of them when they are in need.
What if they didn't take care of you? What if they didn't do a good job?
No, it's not about good job. It's about did they abandon you? If they abandoned you and they moved away from your life, then you're no longer a part of their life. They have already moved on. Okay, they did not fulfill their duty, so they moved away. So you're not even in their life anymore. But if they did not abandon you, maybe they did not treat you well. That could be possible. But that is their karma.
There are different kinds of abandonment, though. Emotional abandonment can be as bad as physical abandonment.
Yes, but that's what I'm trying to say. If unless it's a physical abandonment, if you are still connected and in the same house, or even if you're not in the same house, if you're connected physically, and even if you're not connected physically, you have a duty towards them. That's it. I'm just trying to tell you is what the other person does is their karma. What you do is your karma. Now, if you want to be free of their relationship from them, that means you do not want them to be again that soul coming as back into your life again in the next few lives, so that you can finish off your karmic cycles. With that, give and take hasn't happened, then you have to complete the cycle in this life. And the only way to complete your cycle in this life, choice is yours. You can do the same thing that they did, okay? But the choice is yours. If they are in need, you should fulfill your duty as a daughter. If they are not in the need, they will not ask you, and you don't have to. And you do forgive them, you accept them the way they are, because they are not going to change because of you. They will change when they are ready and when they understand. Okay, so from your point of view, you have to give unconditional love. Unconditional love means, because when we do not fulfill our duties, that also becomes a bad karma for us. So you are again creating a new karma, a bad karma for yourself. And not only you did not complete those cycles from the last life, now you created a new cycle, new karma, again, which will have a reaction pending in the next lives. So when you finish up that cycle, and when you finish it off with love, then you have completed not only the past karmas, but even this life's karma. You fulfilled your duties toward them. If they were not able to do it, that's their problem. Yes.
I just want to say something to what you're saying. My own personal example, my father, I might not have liked things that he may have done. He was set in certain ways. I had to overlook that. I didn't like it, but I had to overlook it because he was my father.
Yes.
But when it came time to take care of him, despite everything that may have happened, when you talk about fulfilling your duties as a daughter,
Yes.
I do what I have to do to
So,
care for him.
duties are very important, and they are important because for your own growth, for your own karmic cycles to close, because when you finish off your karmic cycles and you move on, you are more free to move on, and grow. And also you grow spiritually, you raise your vibrations, you're doing a good karma, you are writing a reward in your life from the universe automatically. When you do a good karma, you are automatically going to be rewarded by so it's a win-win situation in every way.
No, but
So
I'm
yes.
thinking, Madhu, if you come from a cuckoo family, and,
Cuckoo family.
for your own self-preservation,
Yeah.
you feel that when you can, when you're 21 or 18, 19, that you really, a better place for you would be to move out, not be
Yes.
under the same roof with
You
these
should.
people. Now, it's self-preservation.
Yes.
It shouldn't be bad karma.
I'm not telling you to live with them physically. I'm telling you that whenever there is a need for them to be taken care of, or if they are in financial need, emotional need, mental need, you should be there.
Even if
what
they
I'm
weren't
saying.
there for you.
Yes, even if they were not for them. I'm not saying that
It's not
physically live with
transactional.
them, because these days it's anyway the families are becoming very nuclear, so it's not very easy to live together also. But if you are living together also, you always respect them and give love, because as I said, do not expect them to change. Why our relationships don't work is simply because we expect our relationships to be in a certain way. We want people to behave in a certain manner with us. We want them to be in a certain, when we are doing something, they should respond in a certain manner. And when they do not, then there is always a conflict, there's a fight, there's a falling out in the relationships. Any and every relationship can easily work if we are working from love. If we are working from the place of love, then there is nothing that will ever affect any relationship, because even if the person is angry and is giving out calling me names, and if I'm not accepting his gift of abuse, and I'm only keeping silent and only maybe walking away or giving him love or not retaliating in the same manner, what's happening? That is, I'm coming out from the place of peace and love. And when you are doing that, how many times can the other person be abusive? Eventually he'll get the message and he will also stop. And that is how to deal with any kind of relationships, whether it is family relationships, whether it's friends, or in the workplace, anywhere. You do not have to accept whatever is being given to you by the other people, but you do not even have to respond in the same manner. You have a right to choose how you respond in any situation. If you respond from a place where it's love and peace and acceptance of that person as it is, that means do not expect them to change or behave in the manner that you want them to behave. Everybody is unique, everybody is in their own journey. You don't know where they're coming from. Also, you do not know the circumstances that they are dealing with, their thoughts, the stress in their mind, what is going on, why are they behaving in this manner. So, in other words, if we put ourselves in their shoes, we will be able to understand them more. But we do not have the time, at the time when there's an explosion going on, you don't have the time to start putting yourself in the other shoes. So all you have to do is become mature yourself. Mature in a way that no matter how the other person is responding, I'm always going to respond out of love. So that means you just move away. We are always creating good karmas this way. Also, your respect for you will increase. that she's such a nice person. She never gets angry. She's always loving. She's always giving. And
She went to the same school as my husband. They went to the same school.
I believe that.
He responds the same way all the
I
time.
believe early on, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Brenda. I believe early on when you're forming a relationship with someone, the minute that person disrespects me in any kind of way, and I mean, yeah, that's a sign to me, it's a red flag.
yes.
You disrespect
So
me
if
very early on.
if
No,
you're forming a
I'm
new relationship, and as I told you, respect should be number one in our top
yeah.
of the list
Oh, yeah.
for creating a new relationship. If there is no respect for each other, there cannot be any relationship.
No,
No matter what, other things all come behind.
right.
If first to form a relationship, there has to be respect. Then a trust, support, care, love. Love is also at the bottom. First is the respect. Respect, trust. Trust for each other, support for each other, care and love. Okay? So these things have to be there. Otherwise, there cannot be any relationship. So while forming a new relationship, you can choose. You can walk away even when it's half formed. You know, that's how you choose your partners. You see whether the person is trusting, whether he's respecting you. First of all is respect. You will not even think of forming a relationship with a person who's disrespectful to you. Right? So respect is the first basis of any relationship. And if the respect goes, relationship goes too.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
So respect is the one that holds a relationship. And then second comes the trust. Because if there is no trust between you will not be able to share anything with that person. And if you can't share anything, emotional, mental, financial, anything, then what kind of a relationship is there? Then there is no basic relationship. Okay, so it is important that when we are forming a new relationship, we have the choice. We can choose to pick and choose what kind of a person we are looking for, and these are the qualities one should look for. But in the family, where I told you, that's the relationships which were chosen by you before you entered the body because of your contracts, because of your karmic contracts, and those have to be fulfilled. No matter what. Okay, there cannot be any reason. You cannot. I mean, no matter what excuses you give for not doing it, you are just breaking the contract. That's it. So that means you will have to come back again. So the only way to fulfill those contracts are through acceptance, forgiveness, and unconditional love. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions?